I guess it's time we talk about the 62 Soul Voyager. This is the second one that I've made. The first one is in the Sonic Healing Theater in Brewer, Maine. It's kind of the centerpiece of the show there. And they are an absolute monster of a gong. When you get to 62 inches, it's kind of hard to make it sound bad because there's so much air moving, there's so much happening. There's like a static pulse you can feel coming off of it because it's moving this massive amount of air at you. And these are very much like the next level of something that big. Certainly experimental. There's a lot going on here, starting with the massive nipple down here at the bottom. And because that's really hard and protruding, it really easily sends waves through the whole scape here. And they purr. They tend to purr because there's so many different waves oscillating to it. The second feature in it is this little spot here, where you can't really see it in the video, but this is pushed in. So that's another tension spot. So again, when you move this, you're moving all of this, and it travels across that whole thing and then activates everything else that's going on here. So you have this little teeny tiny membrane, I think it's 9 or 10 inches, and it can really just set the whole thing on fire. And this gong loves a big mallet. This is the Ali Hess 815, and it's killer. It's almost 2 pounds. And that's what you need to move a giant piece like this. The other feature on this one is here. And maybe I should have scraped over that, but this little spot here is heat treated. So the temper is going to be different here than it is here. So that little spot there is not as flexible as the pieces adjacent to it. And again, the secondary response activates all the other things here. And the primary central focal point on this is a circle right here in the middle, with the offset scraping on it. When you're sitting in front of it and it's moving and it's vibrating, it gives you the feeling that you're going in. So it creates a motion feeling. Gives you that Millennium Falcon feeling. But again, you have not only multiple circles overlapping, membranes overlapping, you have them off center, so it's thinner down here than it is here, which also adds an acoustic character to it, but also aids in that feeling of motion, that three-dimensional action you're having. So while you're trying to play this and pay attention, you also get the feeling like you're moving in here. And that isn't solely because of the artwork on it. It's a facet of this gong. I've noticed that everyone I've put this in front of wants to pull into it. Some people come to tears. Other people, they fall into it because the sound is so encompassing. And again, with a heavy mallet, this is the deep space mallet, which has a very silent, quiet attack. And it has a lacquered handle, so I don't feel my hand moving on it. And it does a beautiful job of that. And you can hear when I'm playing this, there's so many different sounds that are happening. And it changes as you move. These I like because I wanted something in between the Ollie Hess 815 and the 460 like this. And these are nice also. They have a very, very low attack sound. And when you're sitting in front of this, you can feel your clothing move. It creates such a wave that you feel it across your whole body. And because this is so big and loose, I would say, points, you can start it off with one of these tiny Paul Ford truffulas, barely touching that. The fleece is just barely kissing the membrane on it. The other one I really like is the Southern Paul Ford, because it's big, it's very soft. Again, there's no attack noise to it. That's probably my favorite spot right there. And I don't know if that's going to translate to your listening device. If you have a subwoofer, you'll definitely be feeling that. I can only measure into the 20 hertz range, but I suspect that some of it goes a little bit lower. And the magic happens on these when you get into that decay and you let the sound fade out. When you hear all the overtones come into play. If you go too hard, it all just blends together. These move line are great. They make a very articulated sound, I would say. It's very precise. And because the handle is flexible, you don't have to have mad drummer skills. And don't shit your pants, but also really likes these new intense line, especially this plus. I bet you never thought you would see that. Original intense line, also pretty killer. Again, sometimes these work better when you're rolling them a little bit. first time trying the friction mallets on these gongs, on this big gong especially. I'm not concerned with damaging the finish on this. That's pretty awesome. Once you get into these Soul Voyagers, it becomes kind of like one gong to rule them all. Pretty sure you could play this every day and not get sick of it. Not feel like you were bored with it. It still has a whole lot of surprises. Thanks for checking this out. If you got any comments or questions, just drop them in the comments.